Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter number 6. That's name is changes around us. Okay, so we will observe different types of changes in this chapter that actually happens around us. So there are many types of changes that take place all the time. That changes exactly around us happens around us only. Okay, for examples, you notice that we have grown up taller when we're in different classes like 1 2 3 4 5. So we have just grown up. If we look outside, we find trees sharing their leaves. If we will have a pet at our home, we will always observe that it has just grown up. So there are a lot of changes, okay, not in size, not in shapes, and not in like environment. So each and every changes have its own purpose, they have its own characteristics. So we will just discuss these things here. So in those changes we will observe one most common things there, that some of the changes are there, they happen too fast. Okay, they occur too fast, but some of the changes they are actually slow as compared to the other ones. So what are these fast changes and slow changes? So changes that happen in a short duration of time are called fast changes. Okay, suppose we are tearing our page. So earlier the page was actually complete, but now it is just teared. So what we will think, it has just taken a little time to tear it. So this is very fast changes because it happened in very short interval of time. Okay, now the changes that take a long a time to complete are called slow changes. Suppose like the changes which will take a time little bit long. Suppose I'm giving you examples like that. Growing, earlier we were very small when we were like class 1 2 3 and 4, but now we have grown up, but it took some longer time, isn't it? So that type of changes are actually known as slow changes. Now we are going to talk about some another type of changes, that is known as reversible and irreversible changes. When we put the butter in the sun, it will melt definitely. When we put it back into the fridge, it changes into its solid form again, isn't it? That means it has just regained its own state. So such changes in which the objects or materials can be obtained back in their original form are called reversible changes. That means what? That first of all it has just changed its state, and again after doing some activities it will reback again in its original state. So that type of changes are known as reversible changes. Okay, so I'm saying this one again, that changes in which the objects or materials can be obtained back in their original form are called reversible changes. Okay, suppose if you want some examples, I'm giving you one two or more again. You see, we can get back salt or sugar that is completely dissolved in a liquid by heating, as we have discussed in our earlier classes these things. You see that we have discussed about sedimentation, descentation, filtration, isn't it? So by these ways we will get our sand again, we will get our salt again. So this type of changes are actually reversible changes. Now just you tell me that, can we become 2 years old again? Is it possible? Definitely not. So the answer to all of these questions is exactly what? No. So such changes from which we cannot get back objects or materials back into their original form are called irreversible changes. You got it? So that means like that we cannot get back to our original position after the change. Suppose a log was there and you have cut it into. So the log will be cut into two pieces. You will not get back those changes again. You will not get back the thing exactly in that original shape. So these type of changes, in which we cannot get objects or materials back in their original form are called irreversible changes. Okay, but in some cases like reversible or irreversible, that is destinated, that means we want that. Okay, you see that in some cases irreversible changes result in the formation of new materials which may be desirable, which we want exactly. Suppose when we bake a mixture of flour, eggs, milk, sugar and butter, we get cake, which is an example of the formation of a new material, and this kind of irreversible change is desirable. We wanted to make the cake, so that's why we have baked like this flour, eggs, milk, sugar. We don't want our eggs again, we don't want our flour again. So this type of irreversible changes are actually desirable. Okay, when we leave our bike out in the open for a long time, it gets rusted, isn't it, owing to the rains, cold and so on. So this type of, we don't want that our bike gets rust. So this happens, but whenever any iron things are made, are kept outside, what happens, they just rust because of the act of like temperature, cold, water. So these things are undesirable, so that is also irreversible. We cannot get back our pure bike again. The bike that we have left after rusting, we will not be able to get back in that position, but still it happens, the rusting occurs out there. So that means that type of irreversible change is undesirable. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the changes due to expansion and contraction of materials. Okay, in summer we have seen the telephone wires sagging between the poles, isn't it? But they don't look the same in winter. The wires would be tightly stretched. The reason for this is that materials expand as they get hotter and shrink or contract as they cool down. So the question is that why actually they get, whenever they get heat they expand, and whenever they get cold they just shrink. So the answer to this question is that whenever they get temperature, that means in the summer days, increased temperature increases the frequency and magnitude of the molecules. As I told you that everything is made of molecules, so as soon as they get the temperature, their frequency and the magnitude increases. Okay, and they produce more energy, because we know that the particles are in continuously motion, and as they get the temperature they get more excited. Okay, and the collision between the particles is much higher, and because of that thing the materials expand. Okay, so metals when heated expand more other kinds of solids. Because of this, engineers have to be especially careful while designing the building of large metal structures like bridges. When railway tracks are built, a narrow gap, you will see that a narrow gap are left at regular intervals. Why? This prevents the track from buckling during the hot weather, because in hot weather it will what, expand, and at that time the buckling can happen out there. So liquids and gases also show expansion and contraction on heating and cooling respectively. Okay, now we are going to talk about physical and chemical changes. So you see, physical changes are those changes in which no new substances are formed. They are temporary in nature and can be reversed by simple means. Okay, so suppose changes in its states or phases like melting, freezing, evaporation and condensation are physical changes. For example, cooling changes water into ice, isn't it? Again, when ice get hot, ice get the temperature, it will be again become water. That means it will again get back to its liquid states. Okay, suppose like in melting of ice, you see that ice and water have the same kind of particles. Ice can change into water by melting simply. Here no new substances is formed, So it is an example of physical changes. That means what? There should be two most important characteristics about it, that there should be no new substances formed after the change, and we will be able to get back the same state after the change, okay, whatever temperature you are giving or by any means. Okay, now see about the chemical changes. So chemical changes are those changes which result in the formation of completely new substances with different properties than earlier. Okay, example of chemical changes be like, you see, burning, cooking, rusting. So after burning, we know that there will be ashes, so that's a completely new substance, and we will not be able to get back our things again. Okay, so in burning, you see, wood combines with oxygen in air and forms new materials, smoke and ash when it is burned. Now you see about rusting, that when things made of iron come in contact with moisture or water particles, it gives rise to a orange brown coating on them. You will be able to see in your home. This orange brown coating is called rust. So rusting is an example of chemical change because it is a new substance. Rusting, whatever the brown material that you are watching it, it is a new substance. It was not earlier in that case. Okay, and before that reaction, the particles, the reactants were totally different. It was a simple iron and the water particle and the temperature. But after the reaction, the product that you are getting, it is exactly what? It is the rust. So it's a new substance. And as we have got the rust, the same material that we were using, it is not the same. So that means we are not getting the things exactly as we have earlier. So you see that I am saying this one again. What is the chemical changes? Chemical changes are, that chemical changes are those which result in the formation of completely new substances with different properties. Okay, so I hope, and I have given you two examples of it about burning and rusting. So I hope you got this. Okay, if you have any doubt, ask me in the group or you can text me.